Hello, Zero Books readers. In this video, we'll explore the question of whether the late Mark Fisher's idea of acid communism might provide us with an antidote for what he called capitalist realism.
Before Mark Fisher left us, he was planning to write a book entitled Acid Communism, and according to his friend, Jeremy Gilbert, Mark's attempt to write on this topic represented a shift in his thinking. In an essay that Gilbert wrote for Open Democracy, entitled Psychedelic Socialism, he explained the idea this way, quote, "There's a fascinating confluence between the idea of higher consciousness, which emerges in some of the mystical, yogic, and philosophical literature of the 20th century, and the idea of politically raised consciousness, which became so central to 1970s radicalism consciousness, whereby workers come to realize that their shared interests as workers are more significant than their private interests as individuals, or the cultural differences they may have with other workers. The mystical idea of higher, elevated, universal, or cosmic consciousness has its roots in the Hindu and Buddhist idea that the individual self is an illusion." End quote.
My message is that we'll be watching you. This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams, my childhood, with your empty words, and yet I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering, people are dying, entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you? For more than 30 years, the science has been crystal clear. How dare you continue to look away and come here saying that you are doing enough when the politics and solutions needed are still nowhere in sight? You say you hear us and that you understand the urgency. But no matter how sad and angry I am, I do not want to believe that. Because if you really understood the situation and still kept on failing to act, then you would be evil, and that I refuse to believe. How dare you pretend that this can be solved with just business as usual and some technical solutions? You are failing us. But the young people are starting to understand your betrayal. The eyes of all future generations are upon you. And if you choose to fail us, I say we will never forgive you. We will not let you get away with this. Right here, right now, is where we draw the line. The world is waking up. And change is coming, whether you like it or not. Thank you.
We cannot merely perceive our way to a new form of life, and we can't look to return to a precognitive or intuitive way of life that doesn't require us to theorize and cognize or think. But because we somehow stalled out at Kant, because we haven't yet taken up abstract arguments as a material or productive form of thinking, we consistently regress into mystification. In the unpublished introduction to Acid Communism, Fisher quoted Michel Foucault, explaining that the challenge for modern people was to, quote, "not recover our lost identity, to free our imprisoned nature, our deepest truth, but instead to move towards something radically other." But this conception of a radical other is purely Kantian. It is a lost identity, a deep truth, precisely because it is conceived of as something outside of our human understanding. It must be conceived of as natural, precisely because it isn't ours. The fact is that Foucault got it wrong. We don't have to move toward what's radically other, because what's radically other is already here as a necessary concept for our human understanding. Our task, then, isn't to know this otherness, but to change it.